Hi, it's Lee from ColouringQueen.net and I want to show you my new pencils. Now they're a budget brand of pencils and they come in both the watercolours and the regular pencils. The regular pencils are 160 in the pack, which includes some metallics as well, about 10 of them, and they're oil-based pencils. The watercolours, there's only 150 in there, and although I haven't opened it, I'm guessing they don't include those metallics, but we'll soon find out when I review these. Now, when you see them online, there's a number of different brand names for these because they're what we call private label. So the actual brand name is this one, but you might see them under the name of Hero or various other names that I've seen on Amazon. So if this brand shows out of stock or Hero shows out of stock, just look at the other pencils in the 160 count and have a look at the actual pencil barrel and make sure that it has this name on it and they're the same pencils. So for US residents, this comes in a beautifully packaged box with gorgeous flowers over it, and this plastic carry case with a handle on top is inside. Now for international people like me, it appears that they save a bit on shipping and they don't package it in the cardboard box, so it arrives like this. So let's open it up. So inside we've got our pencils and they slide out pretty well. These plastic trays are super flimsy. They're really just for shipping. You're going to have to get a little bag to pop them in. And when you look at them, although they're oil-based, they instantly remind me of my Prismacolors because of the way the barrel is. So let's just have a look at one. They come pre-sharpened. So having a look at that barrel, it reminds me straight away of my Prismacolor. It's got a nice point on it, and it's very light like my Prismacolors. It looks like the core is pretty well centered on that one, but we'll have a look at a few of them and see what they're like. And as I said, if you're looking for the same brand, and this one's sold out or the Hero name is sold out, just look on the small pictures on Amazon and look for this name, which there is no way on earth that I'll be able to pronounce. So they come with numbers just like the Prismacolors, so not names, so you're going to have to write the numbers down somewhere. And excuse my dirty nails, I've been doing some housework, which occasionally I do. So we've got tray number 1 with our blues, greens, peaches and pinks. And thankfully we've got some more of those in a darker shade by the looks of it. We won't really know until we do a colour swatch. And more in our Earth series of colours. Lots of greens, lots of browns. A lovely range of purples, blues and greys. Now at 160, this is more than the largest set of Prismacolor, which is 150. And because they're oil-based, a comparable is the Polychromos. 120 is their highest count. Now this one doesn't come with a colour chart, but the box one from the US actually comes with a blank colour chart. So I'm going to have to go and make my own and come back and... So I've gone away and I've prepared a colour swatch of the 160 colours, and you can see there's quite a range. I just did them in the order that the tray came in, didn't sort them into colour families, but you could always do that if you wanted to. Now you can see that there's quite a lot of greens, and over here there's a lot of pinks and purples. There's not that many browns, but I've got those in other sets as well. And there's some yellows and oranges, which, you know, is pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. The metallics have got a nice little sheen on them. You can see them shining maybe over there. So they're pretty impressive. And I just did the colour chart with like one layer there, 2 in the middle and 3 at the end. Now they don't have actual names, they have numbers, so I've written the number down the side. But if I had more time, I'd organise them into a family because that'd be easier to find. I just did them straight out of the box. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is the tray number, and I labelled each tray until I put them in a pencil case. Now I also did the colour chart for the 150 set, and this is the watercolour set, and this is what they look like dry. Now they have names as well as numbers, so I've got a smaller area there, and I haven't activated them with water. That's just what they look like dry, and they are 10 short because they don't have those metallics. So there's our colour swatch. Now I started to use them on a picture, and I wanted to see how they compared with the Polychromos, which are also oil-based. Now, I've got to say I was truly impressed. This one on the right is my Polychromo, and this one here on the left is the Hero, or the budget brand. And I've got to say, colouring with them is an absolute dream. Also because there's so many colours to choose from. It's between each tone, so you don't have to lighten because there's so many different tones within the one colour family. So I couldn't match the colours exactly with my Polychromos, but I sort of matched them as far as I could. So let's continue on, and we'll just do this little bit of green. This is the green from the Polychromo, and it goes on lovely and light. Good pigment coming out, and it's a lovely pencil just going on there very softly. Kind of forgotten which order I had them in, but that's okay. My middle colour is this one. Again, the polys go on lovely and soft, and then my darker green, and again very, very soft. You know, you go back and do more layers on this. Now the Heroes, and I may have picked these up in the wrong order, these go on just a little bit scratchier than the polys, but they go on really smooth, and I am really impressed with them. I think for a budget pencil they are extremely good. Now obviously in Australia we pay a little bit more to get things shipped, etc., and the Australian dollar is not too good, but even with the postage, I still think they're a good buy and a good alternative to maybe not using the Polychromos as much. Now the polys do feel a little bit oilier and a little bit smoother than this, but these are lovely and light. A lot of pigment comes out, and I'm barely touching that. I'm holding the pencil way away. You can't even see my finger, and it's just putting down colour very, very lightly. And I actually think they're extremely good. And in fact, when I was sort of testing this out, it was several times on a blank that I picked up the poly by mistake and didn't even realise that I was using the budget brand. So I think they're excellent value for the money, and they blend super smooth. And when you look at these side by side, just bear in mind that I couldn't find the exact shades. They do look extremely similar. And you only need to be really light with your touch to get pigment out, holding the pencil right up here. So just grazing it across the paper. So my camera unfortunately ran out of space, so you might not have seen that on the video. It's easy to add another layer, and you can see how much pigment actually came out on the first really light layer. And this paper, by the way, is just cheap copy paper using a free picture from Christine Aldridge, who is one of my favourite artists. And I picked it because she does very symmetrical type work, so I knew that I would find something in her free downloads on Facebook, on her Facebook page, Sarah Aldridge Art, that was symmetrical so that I could show you both sides of the picture. Now you might think that this hero side is finally getting up to the blue poly side, but I'd actually done 2 layers on that one, and as I said, I couldn't match the colours exactly because I'm working out of a 36 set of polys, even though I do have the 120 set and the hero have a 160 in different shades in it. But you can see that they blend, they go on well, they're super smooth, and seriously, if you're looking for a pencil that's, you know, really good, and you're US especially, not so much for international because shipping and they don't ship to, you know, various countries. They did tell me that they were going to look at that in the future, but if you're in like the US, then, you know, they're about $20 for 160 pencils, and they're quite good. Now you can't buy them open stock or anything like that, but you know, they're still a good price, and you know, they might be great to supplement your Polychromos with. Now let's just see how they sharpen. I haven't needed to sharpen any from doing the colour swatch, so we'll see how they sharpen up, and we'll give them a bit of a rub and see how they go with the eraser. So let's put down some blue here and see how it goes. And I've got a selection here where we've got the Lyra Dust Free. So it's taking off some, but just do a comparison with the poly and see what the Lyra does with that one. And it does seem to take more off the Polychromo, and I do suspect that the poly has a little bit more oil in it than the hero ones, but still very good. I like these hero pencils way more than my Marco Refines. I know a lot of people really like Marco Refines, but you know, I like them, but not so much. It's Faber-Castell one. And you know, it does take off more from the polys, but again, I suspect it's, you know, got slightly more oil in it. And then my favourite eraser, my Tombow. Which, again, none of the erasers really are doing that great of a job, to be honest, but they're doing enough to like soften it up if you wanted to soften your lines and add a highlight. But as far as getting mistakes out, probably the Derma electric eraser would be better, but I can't remember where I put mine. So let's see how they sharpen. And one of my favourite sharpeners is my Staedtler, and I really like it. It's only cheap, but I like it. And it doesn't fit in the first hole, but putting it in the second hole. And I don't actually like the way it's fitting in the sharpener. I don't like the way it's sort of banging around in there. So my new favourite is this German one. It's a Brunzil, and I really like this. I had to get it for one brand of pencils that just didn't like my Staedtler, and I'm really glad that I did. It's really heavy, and it comes with little replacement blades. That's already a perfect pencil, so it's hard because these heroes, they really retain their point. They're really good. These are all still in the same sort of pre-sharpened condition, even though I've used them to colour swatch. Now, just in the bronze nail, and we can see that point. So obviously I prefer this one to sharpen these pencils, and there's no breakage on that. The point's not crumbling, it's super firm, which is what I don't like about the Marco Refines. They always seem to be crumbly, and no, I'm not a fan of them at all. I can see myself using these a lot, but I will need a bag for them because those little trays are, you know, they're too flimsy to even move around properly. But so the point is lasting, even though it hasn't crumbled off or tipped off, or you know how sometimes they just break at that point when you sharpen them. It's not breaking at all, and it's really holding the point. So I'm pretty impressed with them. And even though they cost me like $50 Australian or $60 or something like that, which is a lot more than you pay in the US, compared to my 120 polys, these are really impressive. Plus, they have more colours, and they have those lovely metallics that I showed you on the colour swatch. So I think if you're looking for something, don't want to spend a lot of money, maybe you're new to the hobby, not sure if you like a wax-based pencil like the Prismacolors, or if you like an oil-based pencil, then I think these are a really super deal. So that's it. Until next time, happy colouring.